Hey guys, Nina here, welcoming you to another reading from the Ladies of Horror Picture Prompt Monthly Challenge, hosted by Elaine Pascale on her channel, The Godmother of Horror. If you'd like to read along or read previously published pieces, please visit spreadingthewritersword.com or ladiesofhorror.com. In the meanwhile, enjoy the reading.
Surfing the Strange by K.R. Morrison. Melanie surfaced, screaming curses as she spit out water. She wiped the hair out of her eyes with her fist and looked around for her board. It lay only a few feet from her. In a few furious strokes she had gotten to it and pulled herself up. "That Adrian," she muttered, "always with the bright ideas. I knew I shouldn't have agreed to this." She glared at the board. "What a dumb design. Looks like a propeller." She looked around to figure out just where she was, but didn't recognize any landmarks. There was, however, an island close by, so she headed for it. "That boy needs to get out of the sun," she continued to herself. "When I find him—" She spied a small cove as she neared the beach, so decided to go further inland. "So much sun and so much fun," she fumed. Melanie floated into the shade of immense trees, wondering as she looked around as to just where she was. Her phone lay snug in its waterproof pouch. Her only hope was that she could get a signal here. The board touched the edge of the cove and she pushed it onto the shore. Once she was sure it wouldn't float away, she walked up the beach a short distance and pulled out her phone. As she switched it on, she became aware of something dripping. She figured it was humidity. The temperature was ridiculously high and the air was thick. But when the drops hit her phone, she was aghast to see that they were red. She put out her arm and looked from wrist to shoulder. She was getting covered in crimson spots. Red sap? She looked up slowly, and her heart jumped into her throat. Strung throughout the tree canopy were dozens of giant bats, and what she could only figure were remnants of their last meal. Melanie gulped. She forgot about phone calls and the nasty things she was going to call Adrian and raced back to her board. With her phone hastily stowed, she hopped aboard and pushed herself back out to open water. She took a quick look over her shoulder, breathed a sigh of relief, and paddled toward what she hoped was the correct horizon. Behind her, one of the bats pulled his cloak off his face. He sniffed the air and one eye opened. He watched Melanie as she disappeared out of sight and smiled to himself. Adrian had done his duty. The hunt was on, and it was going to be a good one. He might even let the boy have a taste this time.